I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till he finishes all of his stuff that he got going on. Sean, he just, I don't know. Let me show y'all Sean. He just gets loud and he stays loud. And it just kind of depends on the moment with him. And look at him. He always wants to fight me. Look at him. And people always like, oh, he's so pretty and this and that. Whatever. He's evil. He is a little evil one. He is definitely the evil one. Look how they just turn stuff over. They turn it over. They like to fight when it comes to the... Look at her. Leave a little bit alone. They like to fight when it comes to certain things. And I try to leave plastic containers in there for them to play with. But I'm telling you, that Sean, he has turned very evil. He was not quite this evil. And now that he knows he's the man, yeah, he acting real brand new. And so he had 2 days where he escaped. He flew the coop. Hey, James Franklin, how you doing? Who was that? Raju Soper? No, was that? Suds and Skin Natural. Hello. Happy Life. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? But yeah, he was in the beginning, you know, he was very, I guess, skittish, I could say. I'm trying to find my chair, y'all. Okay, I see it finally. But he was very skittish in the beginning, right? Oh, I forgot to ask. Can y'all hear me okay? Everybody can hear me okay, and you know, visually, everything is fine. I'm gonna try to find me a little spot that I can sit, but I also wanted to show y'all some of this stuff going on around here. First of all, I'm so stoked, y'all. Excuse me, if you see something black in my teeth and all of that, thank you, thank you, thank you. You see something black in my teeth and all that, I just ate a piece of sausage. I normally don't because I don't like that turkey sausage. I just think it's gross, but Eco never put it on the grill. And then, you know, he put a little char on it, had a little burn on it, and I could actually tolerate it. So, okay, how do I not get my fingers in here? All right. Okay. Hi, C. Marie. How you doing? Hey, Fun Reading Club. All right, great. Everybody can hear me loud and clear. Great. Let me show y'all this. We have been here. Hey, Janet. How you doing? We have been here for several months now. Have you ever seen that much space cleared in this area? Have you ever seen that much space in this area cleared? When I tell you that Eco Neighbor has been working, that man has been working. ATM Tim, hello, how you doing? Yeah, that's how much space that has been cleared. I'm over here by the tractor by the other woods, and this is how much space that has been burned. We have the hurricane to thank for this, believe it or not. And I'm gonna go closer. We have the hurricane to thank for this. I don't know if Eco Neighbor even told y'all the story, but the hurricane, you know, it was projected that it may come our way. And, you know, we were like, okay, we're just gonna prep to leave because obviously, you know, we in the RV. So we're gonna prep to leave or whatever. And we had all of our stuff together. We were ready to go. And then all of a sudden, we started getting notifications that, why is it so dark? I can't see. Lord. Okay, we started getting notifications that it was turning more eastward. And so we were like, hey, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. We okay with that. And so it did. And unfortunately, it hit in that Fort Myers area. Lots of devastation in that area. Um, yeah, there's too much to say about that, but I won't. I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to stay focused. And so when the we still got some of the winds to come up this way. We still got some of the winds to come through. And so when the winds came through, I guess maybe a day or two prior to that. Let me sit down while I'm talking about this for a second. Let me sit down so stable. Stable. Let's see. And so the winds came, and we were just like, all right, so not a whole lot is gonna happen here, because like we're used to getting wind gusts and things like that, right? And so it was cool. However, he had been burning a couple of days prior, and all we saw was like a single little, smoke signal. Smoke signal, I call it. Just a single little, poof of smoke going into the air until the wind started to blow. So I'm inside the RV, and hey, Weekend Garden Show, how you doing? Hey, Juicer with Jay, what's up, Kelly, bro? So this little smoke is going up, going out, and then it was like, well, okay, I didn't think much about it. I went inside, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe an hour later, I started seeing hella smoke. Like, it was a lot of smoke happening, right? And I could see this from sitting inside. Somebody told me to move, so I'm gonna move. All right. So I hope y'all can see me better right there. I don't want to sit directly in the sun, but hope y'all can see me better. But anyway, so I start seeing all this smoke. And so I was like, oh no, what's happening outside? And I jumped up and ran to the door, and I was like, I don't see anything like right here. And then I opened the door and looked over, and I'm like, oh my God, there like this, the first pile that was like right here behind where I'm sitting right now was totally engulfed. And the fire was huge because the wind was blowing. So thankfully, one of our practices is that, we always surround our fire with just clear space. And we did that even when we had like just the little space to burn. We had like pits that we would burn in. So we would always burn inside the pits, and then we would leave like a rim and leave a lot of sand around the rim, so that if anything ever got out of control, we can grab a bunch of the sand with shovels, and then we can smother the fire out. So that's kind of been our thing the whole time. This is what we've been doing. That's been our practice. And so when I said, holy crap, because this fire was huge. And if you saw how much stuff we had back, you have to go back, and look at videos from uh, even a month ago and see how huge the piles were over there. And so I came out the door, obviously, because, I didn't want the thing to get out of control. And then one of the things that happens, because now, mind you, we hadn't gotten any rain, okay? We got no rain at all, not even a drop. To this day, to this very day, we have not gotten a single drop of rain since the hurricane was supposed to be headed our way. And so all we ever got was the wind from it. And that's what sparked up the fire. And so I was like, well, thankfully, we have the well in place if anything gets like too bad. And so one of the things that happens, even with a small fire, but particularly with a fire the size that one was, y'all either on that homesteader, I just, I'm like, where the rain at? Bring the rain on. So, um, and so when the wind was like, it was blowing harder than usual because obviously there is a hurricane out in the Gulf. And so it's just going. And, part of me was like, okay, this is good. This is good because, like, we're going to really burn up some stuff today. And then the other part was like, I was like, man, are we going to get some embers to go out? And then it's so dry out here. Are we going to get these embers to go out and then they're going to set other things on fire? Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. The embers, they would go out, and particularly as the logs, the trees start to drop because they're burning. When they start to break and drop onto the fire, guess what? Embers going all over the place. And so we're out here, with our shovels, and we're putting out the small fires all over the place. And that in itself was like, it was a lot, it was a lot, but we never let it get out of control. If one started to burn, then we went ahead and handled it. Like we would go ahead and handle it. We wouldn't play around with it. We would just go ahead and put it out. And, we could do like some prescribed burning at another time, which is what we do. We do some prescribed burning. We did some last night, actually. And I have some char from that. So we went to the next day, and I was like, okay, this is, once we got it under control to where the fire had died down enough to where we could actually go to bed that night, we were just like, okay, it's going to be fine. There's plenty of dirt around it, and, things have stopped like dropping really hard. And, the embers are minimal right now. And so we went to bed. We got up that next morning. Yes, please hit that thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Look at it. Just about everybody has already hit it. Thank you. Thank you, Q, for the reminder. Thank you. So we just about we went to bed. We got up the next day, and the fire was still burning, but it wasn't as intense because the wind that was coming through at the time, it was probably like the wind is blowing right now versus 20, 30-mile gusts kind of thing, 30-mile-per-hour gusts. So we were comfortable with that, and we were just like, whew, like we dodged a bullet. And so Eco Neighbor goes walking over into the woods, and he'll go out there and just he has his little places in the woods where he'll sit, right? And so he came around the corner, and I was standing in the door because guess what? Another fire had kicked up, except it had moved to the second pile. And by this time, like, we all confident and stuff. We like, it's gonna be great. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be real good for us. And then he said he came around the corner, and I'm standing in the doorway, just looking over at the fire. And then he goes, "Did you do that? Did you do something?" And I'm like, "Nope. It was all the wind. The wind did this." And so that fire got big, you know, and it burned the stuff down. And it was like a repeat. It was just like we put it on repeat day after day. So I would say, over a 4-day period, we had burned, well, the wind had helped us burn so much till he started to just push the stuff up in a pile. Just push it up in a pile. And we have this grappler on the tractor. Let me show y'all this grappler. So that's the grappler right there, right? And so obviously, you can tell, like, it has like what I call the teeth. And so it'll grab things and pick them up. So this is what we pick up the trees with, and then we could move them over on top of the pile and put some weight down on the pile so that the burn that is happening at the bottom could actually catch the top and then like be more efficient, right? I'm a pro at this thing, right, y'all? But so that's what happened. And so over that period of time, it was just like, man, we needed that. And we, personally, we weren't going to set that big of a fire at one time, obviously, because of, the risk to doing it. But like, we had no choice. And there was nothing we could do except for stand around with our shovels, and we could shovel, this sandy soil. We could shovel because we got like this area, we have a top layer of sand is what it is. And so one of the things that I've discovered is, if you just dig a little, you can actually get to some stable soil. And it actually gets very hard and very compact. So all we have to do is to, once we get, the rest of this pile burned, we just got to go through with what they call it, a harem, and then just like till the area. So once we can do that, then we can get some of this top layer of shifty sand, mixed down in with the clay content. So we just, you got to dig. You just got to dig a little to get to it. And that's how my plants are actually growing and things are doing well, because we needed that. Listen, on that homesteader. God heard your prayers to burn that pile, to clear the land, to put your bigger home on. Absolutely, because I'm telling you, like, we make it look easy, but this is not easy, y'all. This is not easy. And our kids are going to be, hopefully going to be grateful for it, whether they are or not. It's gonna be yours. Do what you want with it. You won't have to start from the bottom. You won't have to start from the bottom. So sometimes these trees, man, they be making weird noises. But anyway, yeah, it was almost like, on that homestead, I'm convinced that it was perfectly orchestrated. And I was just praying the whole time, Most High, just don't let this get out of control. Just don't let it get out of control. And so it never got out of control. It was those small fires we had to put out. Kind of the same like in life. Put the small fires out, and then like the big stuff that you can't control, you leave it to God. Leave it to God to control it anyway. And so it gets, some days it more more hard, more complicated, more difficult, more challenging, whatever adjective you want to use on it, it just gets like that. It gets like that on some days. I'm just in the shade, Eco. I mean, I don't know. I'm just in the shade right now, baby. So, um, I don't want to sit directly in the sun. So, yeah, James. Yeah, yeah. It's this soil is so different than what I thought in the beginning. But all it took was for me to get out here and like start working with it. And so my starts over there, they're doing well. The bugs, the worms are eating. It's like the starts are doing well considering, you know, that they're in a different type of soil medium, but they're doing well. And now it's like the worms just over there eating up everything. So this evening I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna spray, because I got the collards and I think I have two different types of collards over there. The Morris heading collards are really doing good. The Georgia collards, like the starts that I bought, they weren't really on the Georgia collards. They weren't as strong as they should have been, and I felt like they needed to probably have fertilized a little bit more once those started to take off. And then they had them in the really small cells, so they weren't the strongest starts. Um, but I got a lot for my money. I got a lot more for my money than I did with the other ones. So I was like, I'll help them build up their strength. I'll just be the one to help them do that. So, um, anyway, we went to. I got the broccoli. What was it? Didn't get the Brussels sprouts because like gross. I got the broccoli. I got the Georgia collards. I got the Morris heading collards. Now I just planted some kale, and also I planted some butter crunch lettuce. I put that in my raised bed because I wanted those like right at the door. So I have those sitting right over by the door. But the other things, like with if the worms would just leave them alone, they would be fine. But I'm gonna go through and spray with some BT this evening and see if we can get some straightening out there. So that's what I'm gonna do. Lord, remove those worms just like you remove those piles. Amen. 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 Yep, pulling out BT. It get better sooner than you think. I hope so. I hope so. I really hope so. Um, you know, this just is what it is. Y'all remember my 2020 shirt? I don't know if y'all remember from the beginning, but I made this T-shirt and it had 2020 on it, and then it had like 1 star. Do not recommend. Yeah. Do not recommend. If you're gonna start from scratch, I would say at least make sure that you have a well in place already on the land. That's what I would say. Gotta go finish my plans. I'll catch you later. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you, G Mama. Thank you so much for always being awesome. Thank you. Um, so I definitely would say make sure that you got a well. You at least have like well septic. Um, power. Mm, I think it depends on how much convenience that you would like, right? I think it really just depends on how much convenience that you would like. And that's one of the things that, we wanted to definitely challenge ourselves on when it came to the electrical grid. Because, number one, the area that we are in, like their ratings are trash. I called up there. I didn't, and I understand why they got their rating. Like, service trash, trash. And I was just like, yeah, let's go ahead and do what we planned anyway, and then um build our solar game and really try to, I don't know, just really try to get strong with our solar panels and our solar power packs and batteries, generators, that type of thing. Let's try to get really strong in those areas. And then, at a later date, maybe we'll pay somebody to come in and put in electrical for us. But in the meantime, I feel like we can do without it, and we have been doing without it since we've been out here. And you just have to, it forces you to get into the mind where you have to conserve everything. It's like things that you don't even think about. Sorry, give me a minute, guys. I hear something over in the woods, and it's bigger than normal. Eco neighbor, you hear it? You hear it behind you? Yeah, it's something over in the woods, and I can't see what it is. And last night, something was out there, and it kept tripping the light on the backside of the generator. You see it? Okay, remember I'm on live stream, so like you can't like do what you would normally do. All right. But yeah, listen, when you're out here, you are like your senses, if you have some sort of survival instinct, like if you want to survive, your senses are heightened, and you learn how to hear everything. And Eco Neighbor was like, "Look, I can hear the butterflies," and it's for real. So you learn how to hear everything when you are out here. You remember I'm on live. So stupid. So um just won't do right. But yeah, you learn how to hear everything when you're out here. Weekend garden show. he just he ain't gonna do right. And so if some you can hear the smallest of things, especially when Sean shuts up. You can hear the smallest of things. You can hear birds flapping their wings. You can hear when anything moves on, you know, the only thing that you really can't hear is like um, a snake crawling on the dirt. But if it's crawling in this grass, well, not this grass, we don't even have no grass, but if it's crawling on these pine needles and it's moving, then it's faint, but you could probably hear it. You know it, don't you, James Franklin? Yeah, you can hear everything. And then people be like, um, what about um the werewolves? Yeah, you can hear the werewolves. You can hear the werewolves, and they are like miles away. You can tell the difference between a car coming down the road, a truck coming down the road, ATVs and tractors. Like you learn how to hear literally everything out here because most of the time it is so quiet. Um, so anyway, I forgot what I was talking about because there was something over there that was bigger than normal that was moving around in those woods over there. But I'm gonna take y'all over and show y'all this pile. All right. Oh Lord. All right. So it's still, it's a big pile still, but everywhere that I'm walking right now, it was like loaded. It was loaded. We are we're several months in now, and this is all we have left to burn. We actually have enough space to come in. I'm sorry, I'm shaky. My ground is, you know, not super level, but that's it. That's all that's left. So that's basically like the equivalent of one pile now versus the three huge piles that we had before. So he'll just slowly just keep pushing that up, pushing it up into one pile, and then we just keep burning. We just keep burning. And so it's gonna be nice and rich over here. Let me show y'all some of the char up under here. As you can see, the ground starts to get like that, starts to look like that. And so this is why we didn't want to just have everything hauled away. We didn't want to have just everything hauled away. We wanted to get some of this richness. We wanted to keep some of that in this soil over here. So that's it. That's what we have left. That's what we have left to burn. So we're very excited to be down because it's like we cleared out maybe probably like three quarters of an acre in this area right here. And then we were just like, okay, well, at a later date, we'll continue to go back into the woods. And I would walk through there, but I don't want to lose my signal, number one. And number two, I don't go back there without Eco Neighbor. I don't go back there without him. I just, you know, yeah, I got a little heat on me, but I still don't chance it. I'll get in the truck. He has opened up so much space that, um, we take rides down some of the roads that he has opened up. And it's nice to be able to get into the truck and then go and ride down the road on your land. We love it. We love it. That was so cool to me. And then, we can like come through different ways, different directions. The male people find it kind of fascinating. Like, I don't know which way to go. And we're like, exactly. That's how we want it. Where you don't know exactly where you're going. Yeah. Yes, Veggie Farm, safety first. Like, I'm not even gonna be out here playing, because the whole goal in doing this was for it to be enjoyable, for y'all hear how the trees just clank like that? Right. Okay. Get over a little bit, girl. Okay. So, um oh, let me show y'all some of the biochar. What do y'all know about biochar? Like, somebody tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know about biochar, because y'all be breaking us this off so much. I love it. Tell me something I don't know about biochar. Let me show y'all what I grabbed up. Where's my container? Yeah. Okay. So here's one of the areas that we burned last night. And I've been over here just kind of raking up some of the chunks, raking up the pieces. So I hope y'all can see that. We just been raking up a little something, something. And so James, now if you've been watching my videos for a while, that I compost in place. I always compost in place. I have for the last couple of years, rather. I've composted in place because, number one, we're in the forest. We're in the wilderness. We got all kinds of stuff out here. And we don't necessarily want to draw anything else, any more possums that are already over here. We don't want to draw any more, because they love the scent, they love the smell. I personally don't find that the composting bins, I don't find them to be effective. And I also find that they like take too long to break stuff down. So in the house that we left just recently, what I would do was I had a composter. And again, to me, it was just very ineffective. It was a little too time consuming. And being that, I live in a humid environment, like, the compost to me should break down twice as fast as it does in other areas. And the only way that I could get it to do that was to compost in place, or to just have small areas where I composted. So I did have, and I also found that they stink less when they're open and they're getting the fresh air, they're getting the sun beating down on them. They broke down stuff extra fast by just being on the ground. And we in one of the areas in the very back, we had built up a compost area where we had a good foot of just magnificence back there. it was just magnificent. And when you would go over there, like when I would get ready to fill my beds, um, I would be able to go over there, and I could just dig and dig and bring good, rich, broken down soil. But we had been doing that for like 6, 7 years, but it looks like Gigi, I'm sorry, but that looks like charcoal. But a good test is biochar will sound like it's glass if you pick it up pour. So, okay, so what we did was we let it burn. I mean, it's just wood. It's like if you get those charcoal briquettes that are just made from woods that are just burned, it's just wood. That's literally all it is. And if you keep burning it past a certain point, then yeah, it's just gonna look like, you know, it's gonna look like charcoal. But the difference is charcoal is not natural material. This is. So we put in, you take it and you put in, even if you were to buy the charcoal briquettes in the red bag, that's just all wood that you can put on your grill. You can take that and you can even use it like biochar. Like all you're gonna do is basically, and you can filter water with it. Like there's so many uses. And you can take that and you can put nutrients on top of it. Y'all just ignore that. Don't even worry about that. All of us are grown in here and we know what it is. Thank you, Eco Neighbor, but block them if you can. Thank you. And they probably will just pop back up anyway, but don't pay them any mind. But if you take that stuff and then you put whatever nutrients that you want on top of it, it's very, very absorbent. It's gonna take on, whatever you put on it. It's sort of like, the vegan people with the what you call it, the tofu. It's like whatever type of seasoning that you put on it, that's the flavor that it's going to take on. It's the same way when you're working with burnt wood or biochar. I think people really like, I think they complicate it a lot by saying, okay, this is biochar, this isn't. It's just burnt wood. It's literally all it is. It's burnt wood. And then a lot of people who sell it, they infuse it, for lack of a better word, with stuff like fish heads, fish fertilizer, urine, whatever you want to. I like to put coffee grounds in mine. Definitely, fish stuff. My goal is to, use more of a permaculture type growing system for this area, which is also why we left that. But the burnt wood is very, very absorbent. And so, like, if you were to get poison, you were to go to the hospital, this is the same type of stuff that they're using in order to remove the poison from your body. Okay. So it's the same type of stuff. And then if, like, I keep it on hand, like, just in the flat powdered form. Keep it on hand. So if anybody has any type of issues, I use it in making soap, the whole nine. I'm sorry, my fingers just try to keep them out. Okay, so I don't know. Hey, Robin Murphy. I don't know you all just by YouTube, but I'm so proud of both of you. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't know you all just by YouTube, but I'm so proud of both of you. Love the trailers y'all been looking at. Have y'all decided on one yet? No. No, we haven't. Yeah, there's a difference in charcoal and biochar. But this is burnt wood, which is how you make biochar, is all I'm saying. So, um, but yeah, I do like to do, like the pros do, and add some more nutrients to it, which technically is what they say makes it biochar. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so what else? What y'all know about it? What y'all know about it? Tell me. I don't know what that stuff you put in the grill is made from. All I know is that it's not the same. I agree with you on that. It's not. It's definitely not the same. Um, and it gives me really bad acid indigestion. Whereas when I use wood, natural wood on the grill, don't get it at all. Don't get that at all. So we are we always use this burnt wood, burnt sticks, burnt natural materials in our gardens, because like burning is just something that we've done it for a number of years, and so we always put it into our garden beds when we are trying, when we're getting ready for the next season. Then we'll add some of it. We even when we use wood in our fireplace, we take the ash from our fireplace, we put it over in the bed, we put our nutrients, we put our poop, our chicken poop, our hog poop, or whatever we have on hand at the time, um, and then that's what we use. That's what we use, and that's why we we get results when we grow. And so I heard one guy talking about the biochar or burnt wood, and he was saying if you put it there, then you're just gonna get all of your nutrients soaked out of your garden. And I'm like, yeah, that's true in theory, but you're not removing it from the garden. It's staying in there. So when you start to break it down, when you start to crush it, when you start to do all of that, then it's still going to be there. It's still going to be in your garden. And guess what? Your nutrients are also still going to be right there in the garden. Um, what? You're pretty. What have been, what have been your, some of your biggest challenges? Have you considered giving up? Eco neighbor. Eco neighbor, what are you trying to do? um, if you know how to use it, it can purify your water. Yeah, that's why I was talking about the one in the red bag. The wood that you can buy. I don't know why I can't remember the name, but you can get it at any of the big box stores. You can get it at Home. I know we've bought it at Home Depot before. We bought it at Walmart before. It won't have urine on it. It won't have any of that stuff on it. But Eco Neighbor, thank you, Eco Neighbor. So Eco Neighbor asked, what have been some of your biggest challenges, and have I considered giving up? Eco Neighbor, so biggest challenges I would say was definitely before um water. The bathroom situation, y'all, he changed out my toilet, so I'm good. I'm good now. That was like, that was the biggest thing for me. And I was just like, I told him I don't even want a toilet anymore. Just take the toilet, close it off. I'll take some kitty litter. I'll take some sand. I'll take a bucket. That was probably my biggest challenge, was even when we were at the RV park. That was probably my biggest challenge, right? Was the bathroom, because the toilet, it was faulty. It was faulty. So it was the one that was there prior. It was there prior to us purchasing the RV. So we didn't immediately go in and change the toilet out. And so I was just like, why do I keep smelling the bathroom? I don't want to smell this bathroom. And we were hooked up to the grid, right? Hey, Shakira. I know, Shakira. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate you. We were hooked up to the grid, and I'm like, you putting Sean on eBay? I think he gonna sit there, and the timer is going to run out on his bind. I think he would sit there. I don't even think nobody would come for him. But anyways, so that was my biggest challenge, was the bathroom situation. I still am just like, like the tub situation. I need a tub. I need a bathtub. I need a bathtub. Like, that is, and I don't even complain about it now. Charlotte Urban Gardener, I think is what I saw. Hello. Poor Sean. Oh, poor Sean, poor Gigi. So I think, other than Sean, that's my biggest challenge. Yes, I need to get in there. Is my voice that makes him crow? I don't think so, because he wants to peck my eyes out. I don't think it's me that he wants. I just, other than him, my biggest challenge is having a bathtub right now. I don't want to be out here in all of this dirt, and then just getting in the shower. Like, I want to be able to, like Q said, that soak. I want to be able to sit in a bathtub. I want my jacuzzi jets back. I want a garden tub or a clawfoot tub, something. And I want my jacuzzi jets back, so I could have some candle stands sitting around, and just like, whew, just create me an experience. Cause the RV shower ain't it. It's like, I feel like sometimes I'm going to knock. You know what, James? I thought about starting one of those as a business. I thought about starting one of those as a business, a bathhouse, so that you can come, baby, get in your two-piece and come up here so we can scrub you. We can scrub you down good. We can put some of these good natural salts that I make for bath time and all of this stuff, and just scrub you down good. Hey LP, how are you doing? But yeah, that's like Sean and the shower. Those right now. Those are my biggest things right now. Oh, let me move again. The sun is coming through the trees. I'm liking it too much, but I realize that it's making the video look dark. So let me see where I can get. I can get in the sun a little bit. But so that's it. Sign you up. Yeah, I'm like, man, I need a good business that I can understand. Like I can understand natural things. I can understand, you know, body scrubs and natural soaps and all of that. Lotioning somebody's feet. I'll lotion your feet. Scrub you down, clean you up, and then lotion your body down to send you back home. Now listen, there's some parts you're gonna have to do yourself because like I ain't doing all that, but I'm just saying, pressure wash that ash. Ah, you crazy. Yeah. I miss that. I do miss that. And that made me just want to be like, hey Val's Backyard Garden, how you doing? That made me just want to be like, man, let me just go and order a mod, sit that bad boy out here, and then like that'll just be house number one or something. But you know, have y'all seen the prices of modular homes lately? I still love modular home. Let me tell y'all one thing. I was not gonna be on here this long, but I gotta say this. So, you know, the hurricanes just came through, right? And so one of the things that I noticed, and they do this every single time because there's always an agenda to making the type of money that the rich want to make, right? Eco neighbor, can you go monitor that fire over there, right there? Can you monitor that, please? Pressure wash that ash. Eco neighbor. Hey Midnight Green, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, it was cold this morning, so you know I laid there for a little while longer. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I laid there for a little while Eco Neighbor was out here. I came in to see that Sean is on his way to eBay. Oh man, yeah, he really he one of my biggest problems right now. Yeah, he tries to take my eyes out. He wants to jump up in my face and like he wants the girl fight me, child. You know, have me out here windmilling with the doggone rooster. Mm. But listen, he gonna get it. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to put you down. I'm really gonna have to put you down, Sean, because you're doing the most. You're doing the most for real. And so, went to what was I telling y'all before I start talking about windmilling the doggone rooster? Um, I forgot what I was telling y'all. But yeah, it made me want to really just be like, go. And I can't fault, you know, anybody but myself because I was just like, you know, I wanted this journey too. I did. And so I take full accountability for my part in this. And, you know, it's hard. It is hard, but it's doable. And it definitely is helping with, you know, learning how to not have those modern conveyances at your fingertips. And so you have to think about everything that you do. Like I was just thinking, did I turn that light out? I don't know. And I'm sure, he went behind me and probably turned the light out. But it makes you think about that type of thing, because if you're operating, see, how you want to come straight for my face though? What was that? I want to come straight for my doggone face. Did y'all see that? I promise I was not making it up. But anyway, I'm not running inside. Don't laugh at me, babe. I'm not running inside. I don't do that anymore. But when you have to think about everything that you do, because every light that you leave on, that is, battery space. That is battery energy that is being used up. Is using your battery. And then, when it's cold, he just dragging this thing through and throwing all this dirt on me. That's another thing, being dirty. Like, this is another level of dirty. I already talked about that. It's just another level of being dirty. That, yeah, I was used to, my hands being dirty or whatever. My nails would always be dirty, and I find myself having to like hand wash so much, and they already look like my mama hands, but they have since I was a young child, so like I guess they got a few more wrinkles these days, but don't care. I don't care. But I was used to, having to do the extra hand washing and washing your arms, because sometimes like you get into the thick of it, But we had some grass, which cut down on some of the dirt blowing around. And we had decent, we didn't have fantastic water pressure, but we had some decent water pressure. So if you need to go and take a shower and clean yourself up, then it was all right. Like, the water pressure here is okay, but it's an RV, and we're getting water from water hoses. So the water pressure is not going to be as fantastic as it is when we go and stay at a hotel. You know how they have that really good water pressure at hotels? It's not going to be that fantastic. Which is one of the things that now I love. Like, when we have to travel, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, while, yeah, I do have some things where I can say, yeah, I probably regret some things just because I want to be, in like a convenient, strong water, flip a light switch, don't have to hear the generator, don't have to go outside to start the generator if he's not here, type of environment. Then, yeah, for that reason, I would say, yeah, I could probably use a little more of the modern conveniences. I would feel a little better if I had some of the modern conveniences. But at the same time, it took me back to childhood when we went to my grandpa's house. We had an outhouse, right? Who is that? Hey, Latanya Lewis, how you doing? See, that's why I be in the garden masked up. Darn bugs flying at my face. The reward is going to be so great at the end. You'll be telling your grandchildren about the journey. It will be part of the family legacy. Exactly. I don't know what that was. it looked like some sort of bee, but I just saw it coming at my face. I really didn't like, try to analyze it too much. I was just like fighting. Hey, learning to grow my own. How are you? Hey, green grass grows, my friend. How you doing? This is a small price to pay for the big reward later. I really agree. I agree with you. My grandparents let us left. I think they're supposed to be left us a lot of land in Belize. No one developed on it. My brother moved back 1 year ago. He's going through the same problems, but said he wouldn't trade it for anything. And Callie, bro, you know what? I'm kind of feeling like your brother, because it's like, how many times in a lifetime do you, your family, in America, in Florida, get to actually own 20 acres worth of land? And that's probably not even all that we're going to end up owning. This 20 acres was like, it was like the big project. It was the big project. I can remember, it's crazy how I can remember people actually laughing at me when I said uh, that I wanted 40 acres. Laughing. and sometimes when, for those of you who are dreamers, you have to be careful about telling small-minded people big dreams, because if you're the type of person where you take things very personally, it could probably throw you off, you know. But I was like, laugh now, but we're going to see who gets the last laugh. And to be able to say, yeah, they laughed at me. They laughed at my dream. They talked about it with their little friends or whatever. But look, 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 look. And this is just a small portion of it. So if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something that you want to do, don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about the people who might think it's funny or think it's a game, or, think that you're just a dreamer, or whatever. Let people think or believe what they want to believe, but their belief or disbelief in you has absolutely nothing to do with what you can actually do as a person, as an individual. And you have to stay focused on whatever goal you want. And to be to the point now, and I was just about to say Sean the Urban Gardener, just to be to the point now, you like, look at God. Look at God. You don't know. I strongly, like, my faith it's crazy. It's crazy. My faith is crazy. And I believe that I can have anything that I want. So for me, saying I want 40 acres, like, it wasn't a stretch. If I had my financial situation right now, it's like, I was thinking back then, like, yeah, y'all laughing, but if I had my financial situation right now, like, I'd go and drop a bag on it. I'd drop a bag on it. And so it's like, you have to have You have to take steps in order to get to your destination where you're going. And to me, like, it never ends. It never ends. My my plans are always constantly changing. I'm always constantly changing. I'm always growing, and I just believe I can have whatever I want. And that's why I typically get it. I typically get it because I believe with everything in me that if I want something, I can have it. And I have to be careful also what I say. I have to be careful um, I have to be careful what I speak for myself. I have to also be careful what I speak over other people as well, because I don't know what type of relationship that y'all have spiritually, but like, my words are powerful. They're very, very powerful. And you know, when you learn that you can manifest whatever you want to in life, like, you have to be careful what you say. You also have to be careful what you receive from other people. And I don't receive anything that is not me. I don't receive anything that is not in my life plan. I don't receive any of it. And I be careful what I speak over other people, because my words are very, very, extremely powerful. And then, you have people talking about, you need to take that hex off of me. Nah, all I did was pray. I ain't put nothing on you. I don't do that. I'm not that type of person. I'm just not. I don't believe in using a gift that God gave me of powerful spoken word to harm somebody like that. And I had put up a post one day, and when I went back to read the post, I had to remove it, because I realized the way I said what I said, it felt like a curse to somebody. And I don't ever want to do that. I don't ever want to be the type of person where I know that I have this gift of powerful spoken word, and then I say something over somebody's life, and they're like, remove this curse that you put on me, remove this hex that you put on me. I don't deal in witchcraft. I believe all of our words are powerful. Everybody. I believe that we all can possess that. However, some people don't believe that their words are powerful, and so they won't be. They won't be. Let's see. Charlotte Brown Williams, hello. Hello, I'm near Tallahassee. Would love to meet you guys. I love your spirit. I'm near Madison. Oh, you're near Madison. Okay, okay. Get off of me, thing. This thing just flew on me again. I don't know what it is, but it just flew on me again. It wants to bother me. Forgive Gigi for they don't know the value in only 40 big ones. Amen. 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 Listen, I harbor no ill feelings. I harbor no ill feelings. I just remember. I remember, though. I remember the people laughing. I remember them mocking me. I remember it. But it is what it is. That's not the first time in life that I've had a dream and somebody is like, you crazy. That's not the first time. And guess what? It won't be the last time. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. The key is to believe. Hey, green grass girls. Um, Charlotte Brown Williams. I'm gonna have to look you up. I'm gonna have to look you up, girl. Yeah. So just if you have goals, like be careful who you share stuff with. Like everything, go away. Everything ain't for everybody. Some of your goals, some of your visions, some of your plans, you have to keep them to yourself. It's like, even out here, we don't show y'all everything because there is some stuff that's just for us. It's just for us. And, you know, everybody that comes onto your platform, and they don't necessarily like you. As a matter of fact, the haters keep up with you harder than the people that support you. They keep up with you harder than anybody. So you have to understand that, like, this is the world wide web, like worldwide. Everybody is not gonna like you. My eyes might just be ugly to somebody. My crooked teeth might bother somebody. My annoying voice might bother somebody. And then other people might say, well, you have a nice voice. Or, I never noticed your crooked teeth. Or, you know, I can't stand no women with locks. Or whatever. But who cares? Who cares? As long as you are happy with you, as long as you know who you are, there's this African proverb that says, I'm coming to you, Juicing with Jay. There's this African proverb that says, where there is no enemy within, the enemy without cannot harm you. All right? So if you're not an enemy of yourself, the haters, they can't touch you. They can't touch you. There's nothing that they can do to you if you don't have an enemy already within yourself. There's nothing that they can do to touch you. And see, I'm the type where I want us to win, you know? I want us to win. That's why I don't see competition. I don't see any of that. You know, I don't care how big or small you are in relation to your channel. Like, mine is just what it is. It's only what it is. It's only gonna be what I put out there. It's only gonna be what I want it to be. I really don't care what you do on yours. I don't care when you do it. I don't care how you do it. Doesn't bother me any. I'm just gonna do what works for me on this homestead, on my channel, with my family, having a great life. That's it. Let's see. Juicing with Jay. I saw you say something. Let's see. I've always been surrounded by land, so what you're saying is natural to me, but it might not be natural to people who have never had or don't have vision. My daughter has traveled to places, people. Man, with her little cute self, I bet she has. I bet she has. And I definitely, I want to visit Belize one day too. Um, Y'all hear it still trying to come for me. Listen, I just had some dressing, afro, sweet potatoes, and turkey I canned last year, and some greens in the can I stocked up on. I love preparing myself, but the meal was on point. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Q Hudson. That's what I'm talking about. Uh, let's see. Midnight Green says you and Eco Neighbor are working together with a positive attitude. Nothing in life worth having is easy. The blessings that the Most High have bestowed upon you guys represents independent strength and much always. And listen, you know, um, everything everything that we do has a purpose. Everything that we do has a purpose. And so we just stay focused on that, you know. We focus as much as possible on just making sure that we are teaching something. We're teaching something to somebody, because we're not the type of people where we get information and we just hold it, you know. I've never been that type of person, and that's why, you know, people always telling me, you always teaching something, you always teaching something, because it's just in me. I'm a forever student, but I'm also a forever teacher of the information that I have. You know, it just is, each one teach one. There it is. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. You know, if you don't want anybody else to grow, if you want to be the only one to grow, you know, in your circle where you are, like, that's a really simple mindset. That's a really small mindset. And, you know, you only go so far when you go alone. You know, you can go fast when all you're concerned about is yourself, when all you have to take care of yourself. Yeah, you can go fast, but if you want to go far, you teach other people and you take other people with you if you want to go far. And so that's what we do. We teach other people, we take other people with us, you know. Um my Mrs. Clean, hey boo, how you doing? Um man, I used to think like TikTok was just, and some of y'all might be like, yeah, well, you know, it is, it's trash, it's I thought it was just like a bunch of twerking and booty shaking and 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 like just a bunch of nonsense and all of this stuff. And so I stayed off of TikTok for the longest, because like I was listening to other people, what their opinions were on TikTok. But I'm like, dang, I get on TikTok and like people really love the information. You know, like they really love the information. And I feel like at this point you can get whatever you go looking for. So my timeline on TikTok is not full of dances and twerking and all of this. My timeline is full of the type of stuff that I like, because that's what I seek out on there. And so that's what I get fed on there. I don't get all of the other stuff. And then I have people coming to me, you know, asking questions and like really wanting information, really wanting to grow, really wanting to, really having dreams, goals, and ambitions about being a landowner. You know, how did you do this? How did you do that? The only thing that I really like don't open up and talk about on there is like the prices of things. Like when people start asking personal questions like, how much did y'all pay for that land? How much did y'all pay for that land? When they, how much did you pay for that? How much? And my answer is always um like, it doesn't matter how much I paid for it, because you're not going to pay the same price. The area that you're in is going to be different. You're going to have some different type of options in your area, if that makes sense. You're going to have different salespeople who are willing to do different things for you, and some who are not willing to do things for you. You're going to have a different experience when it comes to things. So if I told you that we paid $10,000 for 20 acres, then you're going to be out there looking for 20 acres for $10,000. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. that our experience in that is not going to be the same as yours. What I can share with you is, how do you get the process started? You know, how do you get this thing started? How are you able to afford that? We can talk about some of that. Um, what did you all do in order to get that much land? Um, like, there's so much other stuff that we can talk about, but I don't know what it is why people want to know, like, how much did you pay for that? I don't know what that's about. Like, I don't understand that. And so that's like some of the what I avoid. But otherwise, like, yeah, I can tell you, some of the things that you can do that will help you if this is what you want. But it's got to be what you want. It can't be you're trying to do this, to outdo somebody. Like, that's simple-minded. Don't do that. If this is something that you want, because this is hard. This is hard. This is hard work. This is work every day. This is not one of those things where you can just take a day off and then, like, you ain't 10 hours behind. So I don't know. It's like, that's so personal and kind of rude to ask how much a person paid for their home or land. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, why? Okay, it could be. Okay, let me get y'all take, because when people start asking personal questions like how much you paid for something, I don't think those questions are in good faith. And I kind of didn't either, Belle's Backyard Garden, but I didn't want to just assume. It often feels like they trying to count your money or something. That's what it often feels like. Like, they just like, I wonder how much money per year they make. I wonder how, like, it almost feels like, how y'all able to do that kind of thing, How are you able to do this? Is kind of what it feels like. And so that's why I kind of get evasive when it comes to that. Well, I don't even get evasive. I just say I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you, because your area is going to be different from my area. It's just gonna be different. It's just gonna be different. So those are probably the questions that I never answered, and I will leave unanswered, because I want you to focus on what you can do. I want you to focus on what your budget is. I want you to focus on where you live, what area you live in. I want you to focus on those things and not get so tied up into how much we paid, because you never know. We could have had the hookup. And we kind of did. And we kind of sort of did. We could have had the hookup. Not like we didn't pay, but you know, you just don't ever know what somebody else's situation is. And let's stick to the things that matter. Let's stick to, okay, what is your budget? How much do you have that you can spend on land in the state of Florida? Land is high in the state of Florida. So how much do you have that you can spend on land? That's going to tell you how much you can afford. It's going to tell you whether, you know, you have to pay for it cash or whether you have to do a loan. You know, we've done both. We've done both. So I don't know. I agree, Eco Neighbor. Then ask, how much do you think something like that would go for in my area? Right. And I have no idea. I have no clue how much that would cost in your area unless I go and look it up for you. But you can do that yourself. You can look it up yourself. You know your area. You know where you want to be. You know whether you want to buy 1 acre, half acre, quarter acre, third of an acre, eighth of an acre, or you want to buy 5, 10, 15, 20, 40, 60, whatever. Ask me how much I paid for something, and I don't want to tell you. I'm going to say, child, too much. I paid entirely too much. People know what they be asking. Yeah, and they'll ask the same question in several different ways, and I'm just like, yeah, we still not discussing that point. But like, if you have a real question that I can answer, you know, like, how do you get the land buying process started? Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I can answer on that for you. I got a lot that I can answer on that for you. But, you know, some people do it all the time. Some people just don't know etiquette. Some people would ask how much you make. And you can ask. That don't mean you're going to get an answer. That doesn't mean you're going to get an answer. Like, how is it going to benefit you, though? Because guess what? You're not getting any of the money. So, you know, I don't know. Like, hey, Tommy, how you doing? Exactly. And that is why you know they're full of it when they ask how much you paid. Right. Hey, Darlene, how you doing? And that's not a lie, because if I didn't get it for free, it's too much. Yeah, so, you know, let's focus on your area. You know, if you want to consult me to help you, then guess what? Yeah, we can do that. But just putting out on like certain personal information out on the World Wide Web, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, you know. It's just not. If you ask me something personal and invasive like that, no telling what I'll answer. I've had people ask how much I make. None of you. That's how much. None of your business. None of your business. You know, that's not appropriate. Number one, to ask somebody how much they make, and because if they wanted to offer that, they would. You know, they would offer that if they wanted to, but it's just not appropriate. Eco Neighbor said $1 per acre. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That would be nice. That would be nice. So, yeah, it's like, how much money I make, Mrs. Queen. Child, too much. Entirely too much. I'd rather not answer, because then I have to hear opinions on whether or not I paid too much, etc. you know what? The rabbit hole veggie farm just runs so deep because you just don't know like where people mindsets are. You don't know what their intentions are. And then I think a lot of intelligent people, we can't even fathom like how small the mindsets are. We don't even we don't even know how to think like that. We don't even understand like where that would be coming from. We don't understand the intention. Like we don't understand the way that a small mindset thinks. I told my kids, I always told my kids, don't grow up and live in your same area for all of your life. Your mindset, when you do that, you live in the same area all of your, particularly if you live in a small town, which I grew up in a very small town. And let me tell you, trying to have a conversation with some people who have never branched out, who have never met other people, who have never had conversations with other people outside of the nonsense that they get every day, that they see, that they experience, the conversations that they have. People still try to have the same type of conversations when you're 40 something years old that they had with you when you were 16, 17 years old. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I hadn't thought about that since 1993. I hadn't thought about anything like that since 1994 when, I was just a jit. I hadn't thought about that type of thing. Like your mindset, and my daughter had the opportunity to go and to stay at my hometown for a while. And she said, "Oh my God, Mama, this is what you were saying?" And I'm like, that is what I was saying, baby. That is what I was saying. You can't, if you just stay there. I don't care if it's just you go to, I'm gonna stop saying college. You go to tech school. Go in another state. Go in another state. Learn something different about different people. This is one thing that I do love about Tallahassee. It's a melting pot. So you get people from everywhere. You get people from all over the world in Tallahassee. You get to learn about different cultures. You get to learn about just the way people move, the way people conversate, the way their family structures are. You get to learn so much stuff when you leave and you branch out. Even if you decide that this is where I'm going to live all of my life, go and travel. Go and travel. Go and visit somewhere else that is totally different from your environment so that you'll understand that there's a whole different world out there. And I've always told my kids that there's a whole different world even outside of Tallahassee. Y'all gonna spend the majority of your early life here, but don't let this just be it. Go and visit some of those other places. I remember I was watching T.I. one day, and I think it might have been on the Family Hustle, that T.I. show, right? Come back right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, so sorry. I had to plug in. I apologize for that. I should have known when I got that 10% to go ahead and plug in, but Anyway, I'm glad it came back fast. Thank y'all for hanging around. So I remember, back when I used to watch TV, I was watching the Ti show, and his kids were little at the time. That's kind of how long ago this has been. And sorry, so sorry. I need your. I had to plug in. I apologize for that. Hold on a second. I should have known when I got can you, the can you? Yeah. Plug in. But anyway, I'm glad it came back fast. Thank y'all for hanging around. So I remember, um, back when I used to watch TV. Okay. All right. So I was watching him, and then he took his kids back to the hood where he grew up. And so he was like, I got to take the kids on this field trip, I got to take them back to where I grew up so that they can see the difference in the type of life that I had to live growing up in and the type of life that I have afforded them. I have to let them see, how blessed they are for my sacrifices, for the things that I've done, for the things that I've laid into place, right? Boo to the rescue. Yeah. um and and I thought that was so great that he heard that, because a lot of us would be like, yeah, I don't want my kids going anywhere near that. I don't want them anywhere around that. And kids have to find their own way, But I think it was good to be able to show them the old life, to be able to show them this is what I had to grow up in, but you have a choice in the matter. You have a choice whether you grow and go into this. You have a choice. I have done a lot of legwork for you. I have done a lot for you that will say, I don't have to live like this as the child of T.I. And ultimately, they make their own decisions about what it is that they are going to do long term in their life. Typically the kids that are raised, with that silver spoon, they just want to be gangsters for some reason. And sure enough, we seeing it play out. But they want to be gangsters for some reason. And it'll take them a little while to actually come back to themselves, to come back to their upbringing, if they live long enough, if the streets don't catch them. And if they live long enough, it'll take them a little while in order to say, I really don't have to do this. Like, why am I even doing this? And so I wanted our daughter to be able to have the experience of, let me look at my life that I have, and let me look at where my parents came from as well. I just might like it where my parents came from. It could be, but because she has been so far advanced, in her younger age, she is just like, when she thought that it would probably be cool or whatever, now she is just like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Charlotte Brown Williams, I'm sure we will catch up. I'm sure we'll catch up one day. I'm sure we will. So take care. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you. It's always nice to see people that are in the general area. So thank you so much for coming in. I feel for the kids in this economy, $1,500 to $2,000 for a basic 1-bedroom apartment. I didn't make that much money coming out of high school nor college. And let me tell you, listen, $80 a week. That's what I paid for my first apartment. Not a week, a month. I was paying $80 per month for my first apartment. And so now I'm looking at, even in Tallahassee, with the student housing and stuff, they're sharing like the investors, like, they're making a killing. So they're putting people in, students in 4-bedroom apartments. They'll have one community living area, but they'll have their own room within the apartment. And they starting at 500, and it looks like a New York City size studio apartment, and they getting 500 here. Like, we in the South, okay? We're in the South. So for us, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. When you're talking about all you got is 1 bedroom, you don't have a stove, like you got one of those little uh hotel room refrigerators kind of thing. You got a small sink and a desk, you know. And then this is, and you're paying out your little student money to live in this. So I don't know. I mean, there's a way to look at it all. Yeah, if you can overwinter them, yeah, yeah, you can bring them jalapeno peppers back. I did it. I did it. You can bring them back, but you just gotta protect them from the cold, Tommy, for the jalapeno peppers. Gotta protect them. But yeah, I overwintered my peppers before. I got a what is that? Carolina Reaper that I actually did. I propagated. Yeah. And yet his son chose to live his old life. I pray he gets back on track. I just hate to see that. Yeah, they have to make their own choice. All you can do is lay the foundation for your children. And then they have to make a decision after that point, whether they're going to follow that, whether they're going to temporarily not do that. And see, a lot of times they just think that we just don't understand. Like, we don't understand the way things are today. But listen, we did the same stuff, except we just didn't have access to this technology. We didn't have easy access to the entire world. But we did the same type of stuff. We just didn't have access to the same type of amount of space that we could go to in the touch, of our fingers. I have to go now. Hope we can meet one day. Take care. I come to Tallahassee mostly on the weekends. Well, I don't live in Tallahassee anymore. I just say that just because, being a content creator, you have to just be careful what you divulge. So no, I don't live in Tallahassee anymore. I actually, yeah, I don't live in Tallahassee anymore. So, but, I go over there. I go over there probably once a week. I still have my P.O. box over there. So, and that's where it's going to stay. So, you know, yeah. But I hope you have a great day, and take care of yourself out there in Madison area. A lot of affordable land over there in Madison, man. My son's first year at college. It was him and 3 other roommates. This year is his sophomore year, and it's the same thing with roommates, but it's better housing. Yeah, yeah. You start to, as he gets to a different area, he'll start to learn, more about where he wants to be, and what's available to him in that new place. But our daughter is in college over there, and she is just like, she's so Miss Little Independent Child. She's so independent and she does her own thing, and so we just have to stay prayed up for our children. Make sure that you cover your kids in prayer every day, because there's a lot of people out here um, who literally, because you're a content creator, you know, they just do stuff, you know. They get messy. They get messy because you're a content creator. So that's why we just, some stuff we don't divulge, and just because we want to keep the mess away from us as long as humanly possible. Let's see. It got so bad for T.I. He had to make a video telling people to start inboxing him. Yeah, that child is grown now. That child is grown now. Ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. You stay prayed up about your kids, and you know, you make sure you cover them in prayer every single day, and ask the Most High to protect them. Ask Him to help them to remember who they are, and to remember where they came from. And eventually, you know, even if they stray, they come back. They come back. They come back. So don't stress yourself about them when they're out there living their life. Just pray and keep it moving. So I'm going to go. Your neighbor has been like on this grill. He's been on this grill, and you know, my little sausage that I had has worn off, so I'm gonna go and grab this nice steak that he threw on the grill for me before it gets too cold. I don't like cold food, y'all. I just don't. But thank you guys for popping in with me at the last minute. I really appreciate it. And let me just say to you, let me just say to y'all, no matter how hard things get for you, don't give up. No matter how hard they get for you, don't give up. Don't stop. Don't allow other people to throw you off of your game, throw you off of your goals, make you believe what they believe, because what they believe has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you as an individual. Your minds should work way different than what those people are talking about. The laughers, the mockers, all of those people, honey. Let me just tell you, no matter what your goal is, you laugh all the way to your goal, okay? They talking about your money, how you make your money, whatever you selling, if you got a product, whatever it is. I just say laugh all the way to the bank. Laugh all the way to the bank, you know? And God will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Believe that. And remember, guys, that prayer still works. So do it often. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful Sunday and the rest of your week. Peace, family.